G'day folks, Sean here from Air Photography. So today in this video we're going to go over 14 new features of the Mini 4 Pro. Perhaps 14 reasons why you may want to consider upgrading from the Mini 3 Pro. Now I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't upgrade. I'm just going to make a easily digestible video going over everything that's new. That way you can make an informed decision whether it's worthwhile upgrading or not. So the first reason you may want to consider upgrading is the new fisheye sensors that offer omnidirectional sensing. For the first time on a DJI Mini drone, we now have sideways sensing. That can be very important for new drone owners, but not to mention when you're using some of the intelligent flight features such as tracking, point of interest, master shots, among other intelligent flight features. I've tested them thoroughly over the last 4 weeks and they actually work quite well. The second reason you may want to consider upgrading is the new 04 transmission system that was first introduced about 6 weeks ago with the Air 3, and it is now available on the Mini 4 Pro. The 04 transmission system offers 20 kilometers of range compared to the 03 transmission system that comes on the Mini 3, which offers 12 kilometers of range. Now you're never going to fly out that far with a mini drone, but what that's going to do is offer a good solid connection even if you do need to get some distance. If you're going to be flying in a congested Wi-Fi area or a city, you're going to have good penetration and signal strength. Many people had range issues with the Mini 3, including myself. Now DJI did correct that with some firmware, but it never really did perform as well as some of my other drones when it came to range. But with the Mini 4 Pro, that is no longer an issue for me. Now reason number 3 is again to do with the 04 transmission system. With the Mini 4 Pro, you have the option of getting the DJI RCN2 or the DJI RC2. Although many of the specs are the same, we now have fold-out antennas which do offer better signal. And I don't know exactly what the internal specs are, but the whole controller does feel like it performs quite a bit better. The screen brightness on both are exactly the same, they're both at 700 nits, but overall it's just a much nicer controller. Now reason number 4 is because of its new tracking system, its new 360-degree tracking system. Because the Mini 4 Pro now has omnidirectional sensing, DJI could do a lot more with the tracking, and they've introduced something really interesting. With just a touch of the finger, we can place the drone anywhere around us in a full 360 degrees. There are also 2 distance rings, so you can change the distance at which the drone is following you with just a simple touch. It's just a great new tracking feature and it works really well. So if you're a person who does a lot of tracking and you've been using your Mini 3 for tracking, you're going to absolutely love the new setup on the Mini 4 Pro. Reason number 5 is it now offers waypoints. If you've been wanting to create waypoints with a mini drone, you can now do so on the Mini 4 Pro. It functions the same as the waypoints on the Mavic 3 series or the Air 3. You can easily create waypoints and fly a mission over and over again. So if you're a person who needs to fly a mini drone but you've been wanting the option for creating waypoints and waypoint missions, you can now do so on the Mini 4 Pro. Now reason number 6 is the Mini 4 Pro now supports cruise control. We first seen that added with the Mavic 3, it was also added to the Air 3, and now for the first time on a mini drone it's been added to the DJI Mini 4 Pro. Cruise control is a super useful feature. I do actually use it quite a bit. You can get very creative with it. It's great for filming solo content. You can set the speed, the direction, the altitude. Everything will be memorized in the software and continue flying in that trajectory. So definitely another great reason why you may want to consider upgrading. Reason number 7 is that the Mini 4 Pro now supports advanced return to home. Just like the Mavic 3 and the Air 3, it's going to dynamically determine the best route back to you when it's coming home. In theory, that will save battery power, which can in turn be a little bit safer. And just like the Mavic 3, you can disable that in the settings. You can use the old method where it goes to a predetermined height first. But it is nice that with the Mini 4 Pro, we have the option of which return to home we'd like to use. Now the next 4 reasons are to do with some camera improvements. Although the camera is pretty well the same on both drones, it does offer some interesting improvements. First of all, this camera now films in HDR at all times. It's similar to how the Action 4, you no longer have to choose HDR, it's just going to constantly film in a high dynamic range. It looks great in all lighting scenarios, especially when you get into some complex lighting environments. Reason number 9 is the camera now offers improved slow motion. With the Mini 3 Pro, when filming in slow motion, we could only film at a max resolution of 1080 at 120 frames per second. However, with the Mini 4 Pro, we can shoot all the way up to 4K at 100 frames per second. If we switch over to 1080, we can now film at 200 frames per second. So for those of you who like to film in slow motion to get some nice dramatic shots, you're definitely going to love those new improvements. The 10th reason and camera improvement is that the Mini 4 Pro now supports night mode. We've seen that introduced with the Mavic 3. It's also available on the Air 3. And now for the first time on a DJI Mini drone, night mode is available. Now I'm a person, I don't really film a lot at night. I do from time to time. But if you're a person who likes to capture stunning cityscapes at night, you're definitely going to love that new feature. The 11th reason that you may want to upgrade, and again a camera improvement, and it's going to be a big deal for some people, and that is the Mini 4 Pro now supports 10-bit DLog-M. It also supports HLG. So if you're a person who likes to grade your own footage, it's a much more flexible format for grading. And it's nice that a lot of the DJI devices now all use that DLog-M, including the Action 4. So if you want to match your content, it just makes it a little bit easier. Now reason number 12 why you may want to upgrade is that the Mini 4 Pro now comes with an LED light at the bottom. We've seen this on many DJI drones over the years, but usually it was reserved for their larger drones. This is the first DJI Mini drone that has that LED light. That can make landing at night a little bit easier. It can allow the drone to hover a little more smoothly at low altitudes at night. And you can also manually turn it on when it's up in the air to help you spot your drone a little easier. The DJI Mini 4 Pro now supports precision landing. Of course, all the Mini drones had pretty accurate landing when using return to home. But just like some of DJI's higher end drones, it supports precision landing where when you take off, it's going to kind of take a look around at the surroundings to see where it is. And can actually land pretty close to where it took off from, sometimes within inches. And lastly, the last reason why you may want to upgrade to the Mini 4 Pro is that it now supports all of DJI's new AR features. Now, that's at the time of filming this video. Who knows, they may add it to some of their other drones. But right now, at the time of filming this video, it's only available on the Mavic 3 and now on the Mini 4 Pro. The AR drone shadow can help you land more precisely, especially if you have to land in a small area with other obstacles around it. You know exactly where the drone is going to set down. It also has a AR return to home route. You can see visually on the screen the route that the drone is going to take back. It's just for visual reference, but can help keep an eye out for obstacles and different hazards. The other, which is my favorite, is a virtual home point. It's a great feature and it helps you to easily locate where you're standing and where the drone needs to fly back to if you lose your orientation up in the sky. So yeah, folks, those are 14 new features of the Mini 4 Pro and 14 reasons why you may want to consider upgrading. Of course, if you're coming from something like the non-Pro Mini 3 or the Mini 2 or the Mavic Mini, you're going to be getting a whole slew of extra features as well. These mini drones are super important for many people, including here in Canada. We can do a lot more with them. We can fly them in places we can't fly larger drones. So the fact that DJI is making these pro-level mini drones is super important. Not only for people who need to fly sub 250, if you just want an ultralight drone just for travel, backpacking, camping, just something you can throw in a little bag and take with you and it's not cumbersome, the Mini 4 Pro is a great choice. Well folks, hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. It's always greatly appreciated. And we'll see you in the next one.